Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of From the Ground Up. Real-time issues with real-time solutions for MWBEs. We're so glad that you have chosen to join this show sponsored by Queen Strategy Partners, Nicole Valentine Esquire, Danielle Douglas, and myself, Dr. Stacey N.C. Grant. This has been our opportunity to serve our MWBE and small business community during this COVID-19 new reality that we're in. We really wanted all of our businesses to thrive post this global pandemic, also understanding we're dealing with multiple layers of challenge with racial unrest, financial insecurity, but our businesses are the ones that will help to be the answers to these challenges that we're seeing. So we hope that every episode has helped you be able to pivot as we started and really embrace the information that we've shared, from human resources to government contracting to business credit, like all of the areas in your life that will help you position yourself for success. So with that being said, over this period, we've been doing the show every single Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We took our first vacation last week for Labor Day. After all, it was Labor Day. But we took our first vacation. And what we decided to do, given the fact that the world is opening up in a different way and everybody's commitments and responsibilities are shifting and increasing, we're going to air our show every other Tuesday starting this week. So we will be back for our show on the 29th, which is also Danielle Douglas's birthday. So we're going to make sure that we celebrate her birthday on the 29th. But starting today, it will be every other Tuesday, still at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be expanding some of the topics that we've already shared with you, but please make a note that we will be back on the 29th. We'll also share that out on social media. Make sure that you're following our YouTube channel. We're increasing the branding of that channel. You'll be able to watch the replays to all of the shows, Queen Strategy Partners, if you do a search. And of course, here on our Facebook page, Queen Strategy Partners, and on Instagram, Queen Strategy Partners. So make sure you stay connected to our website, where we'll also have some links as well to some of the offerings that Queen Strategy Partners will be giving you. But with that being said, let me give a beautiful welcome to my co-host in her pre-birthday celebration mode, Ms. Danielle Douglas.
So good morning, everyone. We are happy that you decided to come and spend an hour with us this Tuesday. You know, I say this all the time. We have two great guests with us this morning. Our topic is how to balance professional and personal life while building your business. Stacey and I thought this was a really important topic because we just have, as entrepreneurs, a lot going on. We got a lot on our plate. And then on top of that, we're dealing with kids, with school starting. We got to make decisions. Are our kids going to stay home? Are they going to go to school in the physical building? Are they going to do hybrid? How do we manage all of that? So we thought this was a great time to discuss how to balance your professional and personal life, right? So with that said, let me introduce our first guest. Our first guest is Keisha Ulisse. She is a project manager for a software company, one half of a real estate investment company owned with her husband, as well as the owner of two group family daycares in the Far Rockaway area. And she has been in business for about 4 years and wears many hats, if you haven't noticed. In her child care business, she is inspired by her staff and motivates them to fulfill their dreams outside of their day jobs, and tries to show them that you can have your cake and eat it too. She is a mom to a toddler and a tween, and they equally keep her on her toes. And she plans to continue to go full speed ahead and show her daughters that if you stay focused and work hard, you can do anything you put your mind to. So welcome, Keisha.
Thank you so much.
From the Ground Up Show.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome. And we also have joining us Bree Lee. She is an author, a media personality, business and brand strategist with a mission to empower entrepreneurs to live how they are designed, building profitable brands, increasing revenues by equipping them with the tools and the strategies required to clearly define brand image, streamline operations, and incorporate multiple streams of income into their business model. Her professional background includes that of education, business management, and operations, but behind the pen and the mic is where you're most likely to find her. Her debut book, My Father's Business, A Journey to Entrepreneurship by Faith, published in 2019, shares her testimony from single teen motherhood to chief executive officer. She's the host and producer of a weekly radio program, the Bree Lee Radio Show, on Stellar Award nominated I Worship 96 FM, and CEO of her own digital media and marketing firm, Bree Lee Media Productions, where her mission is to continue to empower businesses to facilitate and sustain generational wealth through brand solutions such as content marketing, copywriting, and advertising. So to both of our guests today, welcome to From the Ground Up.
Thank you for having us.
So before we get started, I want to say good morning to a few of our guests that are tuning in live. Good morning, Ms. LaTanya Boyd. Good morning, Elizabeth Madison. Good morning, Shamika Brathwaite. We appreciate all of you being here and tuning in. But we do have a little commercial that I want to share to all of our MWBEs and small business owners who watch the show. There's an opportunity for you to really get an MBA in 7 months with the Streetwise MBA program. It's the Amplify Queens. It's the first time this program is coming to Queens. I'm so excited to share more information about it. My very own sister and co-host Danielle Douglas is coordinating this effort right here in Queens. You can go to rdrc.org and you can find out more information. But basically, this helps you to build your capacity for resilience and prepare for difficult times like our current economic status that we're facing today. It's practical business information and education. There are multiple companies that are collaborating to make this happen. Inspire Enterprise with Danielle Douglas, RDRC, York College, the SBDC, and SBA. So these are not people who just woke up yesterday and decided that they want to help you run a business. They have some traction and they have information that can help you really be able to grow your profits. And guess what? It's complimentary this year. You don't have to pay 1 red cent. Why do we say red cent? Because pennies are copper. But anyway, you don't have to pay 1 red cent. You can register today. You can email mharewood@rdrc.org or call 718-327-5300. Application deadline is the 18th. That's this week. So if you want to get yourself enrolled in a once in a lifetime opportunity, you want to make sure you go and take action today. I will put the website in our conversational chat during the show, but this is our commercial. Let's hear it for RDRC and Amplify Queens.
Well, I just want to add something to that, if you don't mind. We are starting the program on Tuesday, September 22nd. So I would ask, although the deadline is September 18th, if there's interest, that you go ahead and you apply for the program like today. And the reason I say that is because we have to interview you. And so the sooner that you can be interviewed and we can accept you, then you're ready to go for September 22nd. I want to also say that Keisha has applied for the program. So she's taking full advantage of this opportunity. And we hope that you do as well.
Absolutely. And Danielle, if I'm not mistaken, this is virtual, correct?
Yes, that's very important. It is virtual. Yes. So again, we start in next week, Tuesday. So we're still trying to give you great information and great tools and resources to help you elevate your business to the next level.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again to everyone who takes the step. Nothing works unless you do. This program is curated especially for the business owner who wants to scale and grow their business to the next level. There's no excuse. All you have to do is get interviewed. Are you kidding me? Make sure you spread the word and let folks know about Amplify Queen. So I'm going to put that information in while I turn it over to my co-host that's going to get into our topic today with our esteemed, beautiful guests.
Yes. So we are going to start with Keisha. And we want you to answer the question also, but really, how has COVID-19 impacted your professional and personal rhythm and routines?
Yes. So I'm more of a glass half full kind of person. So when all of this started happening, it was definitely very scary, very nerve-wracking. Like, oh my God, like, what is this? What's happening? What's going on? But as time moved on, like my husband was laid off of work. So we're like, oh gosh, what's happening? But now in retrospect, looking back at the last 6-7 months, it's really been very eye-opening. We've spent more time together, more time for my family. We've had more time to kind of step up our game as far as our businesses go, as far as professional development goes, applying for the Amplify Queens program. Like, it's just been absolutely amazing. So it's been a blessing in disguise, so to speak. We own 2 daycares here in our home, and so there's a lot of in and out. This has kind of changed a bit because, we were closed down for a few months. So it was a lot quieter. We're having coffee on the porch, just trying to soak it all in, because sometimes, the universe forces you to slow down. Like, you need to slow down and reassess. I think that it's a good way to look at it, because we could look at the negative aspects of it, but I think it's been positive for me and my family.
I agree with Keisha about, even though there's such devastation in what COVID-19 is, trying to hold on to those little pieces of hope and just the rest that I've been able to have in COVID-19 prior to everywhere all the time, the studio, work, driving to ballet lessons, things of that nature. But it really has allowed me to sit down and create the rhythm that I want, the rhythm that works for my family and for my business. So I was able to sit down and just kind of do a complete system overhaul in how I operate both in the business world and how I run my business.
I love that. And I love the whole concept of slowing down to speed up. Yeah. Right. We know that this has been a crazy season for everybody, but it's all in how you've been using that time. And we were all moving so fast. I really pray that the world gets the lessons. It's been some hard lessons. And I think the only way we can honor some of what we've been seeing and the transitions that have happened in people's lives is by how we live. So with that being said, is there really, such a thing as a balance? Or is it management? And then, what tools have you used to deal and manage your professional and your personal life when you're talking about growing your business? So we'll start with you this time, Breely.
Okay. I do believe that there is such a thing as balance. There's no such thing as perfection, but there is such a thing as balance. And that balance comes in the strategy and the management of it. Time management is definitely what keeps this going, what keeps you on track, what keeps you balanced. When COVID-19 hit, I was able to sit down and overhaul how I was running my business, when I overhauled how I was doing things at home. And there's just certain tools that I kind of perfected and streamlined, whether it was meal planning, instead of just running through the day, coming home, and trying to figure out what we're going to do for dinner. I set a strategic plan of what we're going to eat, and when we're going to eat it, and who's going to make it. When can I delegate, and what day is it? Eat what you can reach, because those days definitely exist.
Wait, did you say eat what you can reach?
You can reach.
Sometimes the bowl of cereal.
That's what it is.
Oh, I love it. And I love that transparency. I just have to jump in because when you said delegate and plan, like meal planning is good for multiple reasons, especially for those who are working on health and wellness. But I decided I was going to use one of the companies that would deliver food. And, they have the things set up. And I thought that I would get my kids to cook more because I was buying this stuff. They were like, we didn't tell you we want that. We want you to cook your recipes. I'm like, could I win? Could I win? Y'all need to cook. Okay, I'm sorry. I digress. So
no, but you know what, Stacey, I gotta tell you, I'm on the other end of the spectrum, and I said, forget the meal prep. I want a personal chef. So I spoke to one of my friends. I was like, look, you're trying to lose weight. I need to gain a little weight. Let's find a personal chef that could, cook maybe 4 or 5 meals out of the week for us. And we can make it happen. So we are now looking at potentially getting a chef to cook healthy meals for us. So, we just got to put them in the oven to warm it up.
Look, it's the truth. Like eliminating as a business owner, you have so many things to do, so many moving parts, especially if you're able to move from when you're working in your business to graduating to working on your business. So you don't have time. Like Danielle said, you know what, Danielle, we might have to talk. I might be
yes, we can do it. We can do it. We're looking.
Look,
I'm like, you gotta make this happen.
Elizabeth Madison is a registered dietitian. She said she might have a personal chef. Elizabeth,
all right, now. Look, I love to eat. I just don't want to be the one to have to cook it. So I'm the one who eat a bowl of cereal at night.
That's my husband. He's so busy. That's what he's doing. He's going to get a bowl of cereal. I actually love to cook. So I love to cook. I've been trying out a lot more now that I have a little bit more time. But, it's really a balance. Like, I agree with Bree. Like, you have to, it's very difficult to know when you need to turn it on and turn it off. Mm-hmm. So being able to manage your time effectively and make sure that, you take the time to say, okay, this is have a plan. This is what I need to do and execute on that. That's definitely number one. Very important.
And Elizabeth said something which is true. Meal planning does not have to mean cooking, right? Because you can plan it, you can get the personal chef, or you can invest in Black businesses, honey. I keep Black businesses open. I will call in a minute and order me a full family situation. I'm helping somebody else put food on their table when they're preparing me my nice, hot, balanced, nutritious meal. Yep. So there's more than one way to do that. But Bree, did you have anything else to add before we kick it over to Keisha to give her idea and commentary on balance and management?
Definitely on my to-do list is the personal chef for sure. So someone's in the house because I'm over it. But the time management really just is the rubric. As I said before, there's no such thing as perfection in the balance because things happen. But as long as you have that rubric, it kind of keeps you on track. So that way, when things kind of do happen sporadically or unexpectedly, you're not so far thrown off or out of your rhythm. So COVID did really allow me to do that and just rework my whole system.
I love it.
Well, you know what? Before Keisha,
get your applause. That was a good one there. Okay.
I was going to say, I had this revelation the other day. I don't know how other folks feel, but sometimes we are striving for balance, and it is a difference between balance and management. At least I feel that way because, certain things take precedence in your life at a certain in a given moment, and so that doesn't mean you neglect the other things, but certain things become a priority. And so I don't know if there's necessarily balance in that. And it's all about semantics, but like everything doesn't get 20, 20, 20, 20. So something may get 40, something may get 15, in a given moment. So I don't know if that's something when we're talking about management and balance, how that looks for folks, because I would love to hear that as well. So Keisha, your thoughts as you answer the question on balance and management, if you think about that as well.
Well, for me, I think balance is important because when you become an entrepreneur, there's no, like, you can watch videos, you can read books, when you're in it and you're in the business and you want something to succeed so badly, it's very difficult to turn it off. It's very difficult to have that balance to say, you know what? I need to sit down. I need to have a spa day. I need to do whatever. It's very hard to do because you want to win. So my family tells me all the time, like, you're go. You need to slow down. Like, you're not a robot. So it's important for me to say, you know what, I need to find balance, because a lot of the time it's very, very difficult to do. In order to find that balance, I have to do a better job of managing all of the things. So there's so many, because there's kids, there's husband, there's work, there's business, there's new business you're trying to start, there's trying to be healthy, there's trying to exercise. There's so much. For some reason, that exercise always gets pushed.
Always last. It's always last.
There somehow, but it's important. And as we get older or more seasoned, it becomes more and more important, because at the end of the day, if you're not 100% at your best, you're not going to be your best self. So you have to find a way to balance those things so that you can be at your very, very best.
I love that you said that. And for me, I don't even use the word balance anymore, to be quite honest. So when I work with my clients and the work that I do, I started using harmony, because to Danielle's point, you're not going to give an equal share to any one thing or three things at the same time. You want to create a harmony in your life where things are moving. So if you're giving it 30 and something else is getting 70, or you're splitting it up with 20, and 10 and 5, nobody's here to judge you. It's you coming up with a harmony that you can live with, that gives you peace, that gives you joy. When you operate your business, when you're operating the business of home, when you're doing the things that you need to do for your significant other, for your children, these are the things that I find bring us harmony, because that balance, it just keeps an image in my mind of trying to juggle 10 million things, and then you just cray.
Yep.
And then
I love this.
Complete confusion. And I say, I don't want to live in the cray anymore. I want to be sane. I want to be able to enjoy what I enjoy, love what I do. And when you talk about exercising and health, not just because Elizabeth Madison is listening to the show, it's something that I had to, like, literally, Keisha, pray through. She has a book, and she talks about the 12 laws. I want to get it wrong, Elizabeth, of spiritual transformation and weight loss, right? Weight loss transformation. It's up here. Everything that we do is up here. So when we talk about from the ground up, and we've been giving you real-time issues with real-time solutions, it really starts with a made-up mind that you're going to do things to expand your business, to increase your profit margin, to be cash flow positive. The same thing with your health. You have to have a made-up mind that I might not get Beyonce's body. It might not just come and drop on me. So I might need to do a little bit of exercise just to stay healthy. She exercises, and she has a regimen that created a discipline for her to have the body that she has. I'm sure it's not easy every day. And there's some days she might look at Jay-Z and the kids and be like, oh, everybody move, right? Because we're human, but we have to do the work. So when we make that commitment, it's one day at a time. And one day at a time creates that harmony to say, let me find time for self-care. Let me find time to move 30 minutes a day. Let me find time to drink more water, because I thought ginger ale was quite healthy. Ginger in it, right? It had ginger in it. Why can't I drink a couple liters of ginger ale every day? But no, we need to drink more water. The things that help us, to your point, Keisha, be able to produce our services and our products and our businesses for the long term. Because if we don't take care of ourselves, then who's here to run the business?
Exactly right.
Who's here to help the family?
Well, I just want to add to that, and then we could, is that I think there's something to be said, and one of my favorite words is being intentional. And the thing is what does that look like? What is important to you? And those are the things that you need to make sure, I shouldn't say need to make sure, but that would bring you that harmony in regards to focusing on the things and giving most of your time and your focus to those things that you find to be most important to you, right? Because you can't be all things. You can't be all people to all things. It can't work. So oftentimes we're trying to manage so many things, but if we just keep our focus on the things that's important to us, then we will feel whole, and we will feel that harmony from the inside out. So,
Danielle, I can't do that. To your point, Danielle, that deserves a little bit of a shout, and that's an amen on that one. But I know we had another question, Danielle, that you wanted to throw in our conversation. And welcome, Mecca. Welcome, Patricia. Thank you for joining the show.
Yeah, well, I think, and as we continue to dialogue, it's really what have you had to eliminate or shift to be able to manage or balance or have harmony in your personal and professional life?
A lot. Prior to COVID, I was doing so many different things, plus working the 9 to 5, plus working my business. After COVID, I made decisions that I wanted to work full time in my business. But I was very intentional about, and I love that you used the word intentional, about how I wanted to do it. Because prior to, I didn't ever want to be a slave to building my business. I'm not building bondage, right? So my priorities had to be realigned, and it's family first for me. So what does that look like? If me time is a priority for me, I had to identify that, and that comes first in the schedule. Because if I'm not whole, then I can't support my family. I can't take care of my daughter, and I can't take care of my business. So that was top tier for me, and then everything else comes after that. So it's definitely identifying the priorities, and we can't be everywhere every time. And like you said, we can't be a person to all things. So not everything deserves 100%. What are the things that don't deserve 100%? Then they fall lower on the totem pole than the things that do deserve all of my energy, my whole self. So definitely identifying the priorities and delegating were top two things for me in order to take some of that weight and not feel like I couldn't enjoy where I am. Now I'm home with my daughter and I'm loving every single moment of that because I don't have to be everywhere all the time and miss out. I can be right here with her and arrange my own schedule around what she has to do or what we need to do together. There are seasons that sometimes that'll shift. If there's something going on specific, that does shift. But for the most part, I'm very intentional about making sure that I'm first so that I can be present in.
Yeah, and
we film this show live and people have the nerve to be moving garbage cans while I'm having the show. So I just had to mute it. But I love something that Bree just said about learning how to shift, right? And understanding that everything won't get your attention, as you were building on Danielle's point. I want to just thank Danielle because she is like my calming force when I'm ready to like, okay, let me jump and do. She's like, Stacey, you do not have to respond or do anything. I'm like, okay. But you need to have someone in your front row that's going to have your back, because she'll look at me like, are you about to turn up crazy again and start trying to be 10 million places at one time? And you need that calming force. And she's that calming force of our life. She'll just gently say, girl, that doesn't have to happen now or today, or you can say no. So you need those reminders when you're making those decisions that you talked about. And I can hear Danielle in my head when I'm attempting to do it. Like, even if I'm not speaking to her, like, I can just hear her voice like, Stacey. And you need that check and balance when you're working to be intentional about what you say yes to and what you give your time to. So I love that answer, Bree. And Keisha, over to you.
So for me, pre-COVID, I was already working from home, so it wasn't a huge shift for me. But the big difference, I didn't personally give anything up, but what ended up happening is now we go from having 30 kids running around and somebody has a fever and somebody bumped their knee and somebody did. So it's constant go, 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 go. You got to all parent. You got to do all of these things. So it kind of happened for me. I really didn't have to give up anything, but I definitely see the difference in that go, go, go. And now it's kind of like, okay, well, so what would I like to do today? What do I want to do today? So that's been a very big shift. And in my day job, I actually made a shift to work fewer days. I work 4 days a week instead of 5, so that gives me a little bit more freedom to say, on this day, I'm going to focus on all things business. So that the rest of the time, I'm not trying to juggle so many things at once. So making that change has made a very drastic, so that when we are back to 32 children and everybody has something going on, it's not as stressful. It's a little bit more manageable. And I can put the systems in place that need to happen so that I can handle everything accordingly.
I love it. I just want to build on something Danielle touched on earlier on in the show, just about children and the fact that both of you are building your business with children. And I think COVID-19 has opened up a different way of accepting working moms or business owners who are parents, because the kids are in your Zoom calls.
You might see one.
They're running, like, you can't snatch them up fast enough when you're in the middle of doing your work and you're remote, and they're running to and fro. I just want to take a fun moment before we go back into, some of the questions and strategies that you've used that can help some of the other business owners that are building their businesses while managing, balancing, or creating harmony with their personal life. What's the funniest thing that one of your children did while you were virtually operating during this COVID-19 environment?
I would say recently, normally, because I do a lot of FaceTime and I'm on lives a lot, or I'm either recording podcasts or radio, something like that. My daughter is kind of used to when mommy's in the studio mode. She's kind of used to that. But one day she was maybe 2 feet in front of me and I was doing a live interview like this, and she didn't wait for me to click the off air. And I was trying to hold my breath for so long. That was on air. That was live.
For me, actually, I don't know that it was funny, but it was great timing. And actually, I'm talking to my job about making the shift to work less hours and trying to balance the kids being home. My 11-year-old walked in and she all this stuff in her hand. And she's like, and she's like, the desperation on her face, like, I need help. And I'm like, come on in.
Show them this.
I was like, oh my God. And after I got up, I was like, your timing could not have been to make sure that they understand, like, I'm not making this up. Like, she, like, so random.
I love, and I think a little bit of levity is always good for the soul, right? And it's real time. You can't make this stuff up. And I think people who didn't have an appreciation for how much you balance as a parent, whether you're a mom, a dad, a grandparent, a caregiver, that it causes and creates this opportunity for you to be human and for you to have that transparent moment to say, I'll do my work and I can do my work, but I still have to take care of the immediate issue. And kids don't care if you're in a board meeting. They don't care what you have to do. They want your attention. They want your attention.
And the thing I want to say to that is that, we started talking about harmony, balance, wholeness, and prioritizing. But of course, children, your family is a major priority, and your business is a major priority. And so dealing with both of those things, your family, children, husband, and you could have care, you may have to be a caregiver for an elderly parent. So some folks are not only dealing with children. I have a very good friend of mine. Her mother is her child. She is dealing with all of that. So that could be a major stress, right? Those two things alone. How do you manage the stress, right? Like, how do you have that moment of, is it prayer? Is it meditation? Is it taking a walk? What does that look like in regards to strategies about how do you manage the stress? Because we are all dealing with a certain level of stress.
Yeah, you got to try to push some of it back. Push it to the back of your mind, and really now just trying to focus and take time. You know what? I need a break. Whether for me, it's my coffee. Like, this is my coffee cup right here. It says, "Mama needs some coffee." This is uninterrupted time. Not wait, is the cup? And I'll ask is the cup empty yet? Then we can talk. But coffee is like, that's my love language. That's what I need. I'll sit outside on the porch, whether I have my husband. That is my key. that's my piece 100% for sure. It used to be doing self-care and going to get my nails done or going to the spa. Right now that's a little scary. So we're not on that yet, but that's what I love. I love spa services. So once it opens back up and it feels safe, that'll be.
Really?
For me, it's going back to being intentional and intentional. Usually for me, if I'm super stressed, if I notice that, and I can feel it physically when I'm stressed first, I notice that for me, that means that a boundary is being crossed. So that means I'm either spreading myself too thin, crossing my own boundaries, or I'm allowing outside factors to kind of cross over the line into my boundaries. So for me, I'm very in the morning, my routine. I started that right before school started. I knew there would be a shift in what I was able to do. For the first couple of weeks of virtual learning, I started waking up. Now my schedule is I'm up at 4. That gives me at least 3 to 4 hours by myself, for myself. Me and Jesus. I have my devotional time in the morning, but that is time when I can quiet and still. And the first week of school, because my mother was so excited, she got up one day on her own at 5 a.m. She came down the stairs completely dressed, ready to go for school. I sent her right back up to bed. This is my time. This is my time. And in order for me to be effective throughout the rest of the day and not cray on your virtual learning, I need 2 hours. Just give me the 2 hours. So setting the boundaries also for outside factors. Maybe sometimes I can put my phone on do not disturb for just an hour and just don't respond to anything, just to have a second, just to digress from the rest of the day, and then I can move forward.
It's so funny. As Stacy said, my birthday's in 2 weeks, and my mom and I took a walk just last night, and she said, "So what do you want to do for your birthday?" I'm like, "I don't know. I've been so crazy," and so I started thinking about it, and I said, my birthday's on a Tuesday. Folks are going to be at work and everything. I said, after I do this show from the ground up, I think I'm going to go sit in the park. I think I may, if it's beautiful, go to the beach, listen to some music, have a bottle of wine, even if it's by myself. That's what I'm going to do. And so just in us talking, and as you said, Keisha, you were talking about like, we may not be getting our nails done. We may not be getting our feet done and all that stuff, but it's a time for us to go inward. Mm-hmm. It's a time for us to learn if we have not done it already. It's a time for us to think about how we can soothe our soul through meditation, through stillness, and that's a healthy thing. So sometimes in everything that's going on, we talk about balance. We want to feel good about going to buy a new outfit. That's what we do, getting our nails done, getting our hair done and stuff. But we may not necessarily be doing that now. And so hopefully it's forcing us, if we haven't done it already, to think about inward practices we can do to create that harmony, that wholeness, that balance.
Absolutely. Well, look, I found a way. My nail tech has been, honey, after 4 or 5 months, I was like, I'll go in the middle of the street, sidewalk with 10 masks on. We're going to do something. Because that is one of the things that gives me joy. And yes, Latanya, we know that you'll be celebrating your birthday on the 28th. So it's Libra season coming up. I'm trying to be respectful to the Virgos. I have one in my house that I gave birth to. I'm trying to be respectful to the Virgos, but Libra season is about to.
That's right, and we are ready. We are ready. All right, Latanya, happy birthday. Happy early birthday to you.
And thank you, Elizabeth. We really wanted this show to be sensitive to the fact that as business owners, we still have lives. Like you don't unplug from being a wife. You don't unplug from being a mother. You don't unplug from being a caregiver. As you said, Patricia, she's taking care of her mom, and, family members can take advantage of that. This is a mental health conversation. You don't suffer in silence. We want everything that this show touches to be real-time issues with real-time solutions. We're talking about the fact that as business owners, MWBEs, small businesses, you're juggling a lot. So you're hearing from 2 working moms that are running their businesses, creating new clients and contracts, but they still have to take care of little people who will come in and say, I need help, or little people that want to start their day early. So you have to really be conscious of how you take care of yourself. What do we say all the time, or what do we hear when we get on a plane? Put the oxygen mask on yourself first before you assist the children and the elderly.
Yep.
So if we don't have on our own oxygen mask, if we're not taking care of ourselves, then we can't take care of everybody else. We can't let our businesses grow and increase our profit margins and be able to do bigger business because we haven't taken care of ourselves. We're falling apart from the inside out, suffering from depression. You know how many people are suffering from depression during this time? There is domestic violence, which is on a rise. And this is a month where, people are talking about that. Suicide prevention. This is real talk, real time issues. So in order to help us avoid some of those pitfalls and tell people it's okay to ask for help. You don't ask for help because you're weak. You ask for help because you want to remain strong. And From the Ground Up has been one of your resources. We partnered with you. We're growing through this experience with you. And every show is dedicated towards one area of how you can expand and grow your business acumen and stamina for the long haul, because this too shall pass. And we want those of you that have been tuning in, that have been participating, to be stronger as a result of the information that we've shared. So, Danielle, I know there was another question. We're having so much fun. I don't want to. And I'm dying for another sound effect.
Well, Stacey, I want to build upon what you were talking about with children, because Keisha, as she said, she is a owner of a daycare, right? And so, when we spoke before, she was sharing with myself and Malcolm some of the tools and resources she gives to parents to help them be able to navigate this time. So, Keisha, can you share some of those tools and resources that you are currently giving to other parents who are your clients right now? They're taking care of their children.
Yes. So we just try to make sure that parents feel supported. So whether it's, especially at the beginning, a lot of parents depended on childcare so that their children even could eat. So just making sure that they had resources and they knew that they could go to different schools and they could get breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If they needed help with caseworkers, if they needed help with emergency placement, emergency care, anything that they need, they know that they can come to us, and it may be just a Google search away. And we're going to do what we can to try and help and support them, giving them links to different things like Teachers Pay Teachers, for example, so that they can continue. So we would do remote learning with the children. But, they're 2 and 3. So I don't know if any of you have tried to have a 2 and 3-year-old sit in front of a Zoom call. It's a little tough. So we let them talk and we say hi and, hang out with them. But we make sure the parents have the resources for different educational activities that they can do, and show them that it can be as simple as putting water in a plastic bin and putting like a sponge and let them fill up a sponge and squeeze it, or how to sneak in vegetables into mac and cheese. Just making sure that they know that we're here for them. We're here for them, and it's not just drop your kids off and that's it. Anything that you need, any way that we can help. We give resources to parents who may need to get their high school diploma or their GED. We set them up with that. So just different things like that, so that they feel supported, especially during this time, because it's already tough as it is. So.
I love that. And I love the little activities that you can do with a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old in front of Zoom every day. I said, thank you, Lord, that my children were not at that age during this pandemic. Woo, y'all be talking about me. I might end up on the news like, whoa.
Well, that's what I had to send a message. I had to send a message to my 11-year-old teachers, and I was like, thank you. Like, I don't understand. I don't get how you do it. Like, these teachers, when they say they need a raise, because it is stressful. It's stressful, and you're dealing with so many different situations, because there are parents who, they're able to do whatever they need for their children, and there are others who are just not able, and there are others who still have to go to work. So now I have to go to work. My child is supposed to go to school virtually. Who's going to watch my child? Who's going to help me through that? So we try to set up stations so that the kids can come. They have their headset, they have their laptop, they can sit, they can do their work. They have breakfast, lunch, snacks, like they're good. So the teachers, I think, definitely they need. If any teachers are listening, round of applause for you.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh yes, please.
For all of our teachers. We appreciate you. My sister has a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old, and that was the running joke that she found memes that said I failed homeschooling.
My friends will be like, I expelled my daughter a long time ago. She's done. She's out. She put a foot on water.
That is funny.
Oh, but it's really on a serious note for our educators, our school aides, the bus drivers, like everybody's putting themselves at risk right now because we just really don't know what the long-term implications are of this short-term space of opening up schools in hybrid versus virtual. So we want to lift them up in prayer and covering that everyone is safe because everything is connected. And the individuals that show up to be with our children have their own families. And folks are stressed out thinking about what they could be bringing home when they're working as first responders, whether it's medically, whether it's in our school, whether it's the people that deliver to us. So we just need to be mindful as a community and as businesses. What kind of things can we put in place to help the safety? Hello, that's a business idea for somebody. What are the things that you can do to help increase safety measures for those who are going to and fro because they have no other choice? So these are the things that business owners and entrepreneurs do. You come up with solutions in the marketplace and you create things that can help other people have a better experience in whatever they're doing. So even moms at home, hearing some of your tips, Keisha, I hear some business ideas in there. I hear some things that can be offered to other parents because not everybody is going to be a business owner. Not everybody likes entrepreneurship. That is a scary proposition to a lot of people. We know, at least I do, that you have to be 2 parts cray-cray if you want to start anything on your own, right? Because it's not guaranteed. You have to have that gut determination, the grit in the ground, say, I can do this. I know there's something more that I can provide, and I'm not comfortable just keeping that suppressed. I want to share it. So all of our MWBEs, you decided you wanted to share something. You're selling something in the marketplace that's bringing value. So we hope that this has sparked an idea in your mind because we have a lot that we have to do to recover from COVID-19, COVID-16, 19, as Reverend Freddie Haynes would say, with what we have been enduring as a people, and of course, the financial insecurity. So let's come up with those answers. As we start to wind down, I'm gonna give my co-host the last question to shoot out there into the world, and then any questions from our audience before we wind down for today's show.
So I want to just say something as we wind down, just to build again upon what Stacey said, is that we have to think about, like, not we have to, but yes, we have an opportunity in crisis to think about solutions and to provide resources to folks who need it, because everybody needs some form of resource or services right now in some capacity. There are a ton of opportunities waiting to have solutions or issues that are waiting for the solutions, and you all potentially have the solutions. But also what I want to say is, as we talk about balance and harmony, is who is in your tribe, who is in your community, so we have to have a tribe who uplifts us, who keeps us grounded, who keeps us centered, who is our accountability partner. So I would say we didn't talk about that, but having your tribe in place is so important. And so I just suggest that if you don't have that you think about how you can build your tribe right now. So the last thing is really, I think we really kind of touched upon it, but if you both can each give, starting with Breely, if you can give just one tip, we talked about a lot today, but if you could just give one tip, on a personal or professional level for people to leave this morning and that they could implement it today, what would that be?
On a personal level, I think going back to taking care of yourself, making sure that you make yourself a priority in order to steward and in order to take care of all the things that go on throughout the day in our households and our businesses. And in a business perspective, what I tell a lot of my clients is, how are you running the ship? Where can you alleviate some of the stresses for you? Not everyone is in a place to hire a team yet. I do speak a lot to solopreneurs, but if you're not in a place to hire a team, let's look at your systems. Either you can rework your systems and assess them yourselves and analyze where you can pinpoint, where you can delegate, or if that's not your area of expertise, that's okay. You can hire a coach such as myself to help you to do that. To help you to do that, so that you can really streamline your operations, because being a business owner, it does take a lot of work. There are definitely different hats you have to juggle, but definitely streamlining is where you can find those little areas where you can kind of free yourself up, and not feel so weighted down.
I love it.
Keisha?
Yes, I feel like I'm doing something right, because that is my exact answer as well. System. Like, I cannot stress that enough. If you want to see your business succeed, put systems in place and follow them. Like 100%. When I first started, I started in the childcare arena with no experience whatsoever. My husband and I bought a house, and if there were daycares in it, so we're like, all right, I guess we get into daycare. So it was kind of trial and error, but I had to stop because I was going crazy. Like, I had to stop. I had to stop and say, okay, what is going on? What can I do? What is the next best step? And that's my dear friend Oprah who said that. Figure out the next best step. So my next best step for everything was creating a system. Okay, I need a system for how I'm handling all of the actual administrative side of it. How am I handling my staff? My staff, what does my staff do on a daily basis? Because I'm telling them, like, yes, we need to make sure we clean. We need to make sure we teach the kids. No, it's literally a checklist now. It is a system of step-by-step items that you need to do every single day to make sure now you know your day is completed. And that has 1,000% changed my business 1,000%. Like, I cannot. I would also add finding resources or finding groups that you can join. Like, this is an amazing group of ladies, absolutely awesome, but definitely finding your niche, whatever your niche is. If I'm in childcare, I'm going to look for childcare groups, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Instagram, because then you're going to find resources. And on YouTube is a super amazing resource to find anything that you literally can type anything into YouTube. It can teach you all of it. So.
Yes, but between YouTube and Google University, we're not going to say their names too much. They're not sponsoring from the ground up yet. When they give us some dollars, we'll do that. But there sure is nothing new under the sun. You can search it and you can find that information. This has been wonderful to be able to hear you talk about real life strategies that people can implement right now. And then maybe they just needed to hear you talk about creating, what is it, a balance? Is it management? Is it harmony? Just to know that they're not alone. Sometimes you just have to hear somebody talk about something that you believe to confirm that you haven't lost your mind. You're still in your right mind. And we're all dealing with this new reality and figuring out ways forward that can help us be the best version of who we can be, which is something that I talk about all the time. So thank you, Mecca. Thank you, Arthur Latanya Boy. Proud mama watching the show. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Patricia. We appreciate all of you that have been tuning in and been so active in our chat today and scribing and the takeaways. I want you to remember, as I said in the beginning of the show, that From the Ground Up will now air every other week so that you can implement some of the information that we give you in between. Come back with your report card. I'll have my red marker ready. But the goal is to make sure that as you're shifting and things are opening up, that we're being flexible with how we provide you the content and information and give you a chance to do what Keisha and Bree talked about. You know, being in a position to give the right percentage of time to those things that you need to as we close out the third quarter and move into the fourth quarter of 2020. So we're thrilled to be able to provide this resource. Catch the replays on our YouTube channel or here on our Facebook page, Queen Strategy Partners. So Thank you for being here. I'm going to turn it over to the beautiful Danielle Douglas. The next time you see her, she'll be wiser and even more beautiful as she begins her next turn around the sun.
Oh my gosh, I love you, Dr. Stacey NC Grant. You are so good for my soul. I so appreciate that. But once again, I always say Stacey does such a great job. What can I say? I just say be here. Be here in 2 weeks, not only to help me celebrate my birthday, but more importantly, to get great information, to get great resources, because as Stacey said, Queen Strategy Partners, we are here. We're here to take the journey with you. We are not going anywhere. We are doing this from our heart to your heart, because we are entrepreneurs just like you. Everything that we bring to you in regards to topics is things that we are feeling, that we are looking to see how we can navigate. And so we are, again, your partners. So we just ask that all we ask for you is that you show up on Tuesdays, be here, continue to get the information that we provide you. But just as importantly, as I always say, information is for naught if you don't rightly apply it. So we just ask you to take this information, apply it so that you can take your business to the next level. So until we see you again, make it productive, make it happen. And we look forward to seeing you Tuesday, September 29th at 9 o'clock.
Bye-bye, everyone. Have a great day.